for the last couple of minutes, I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. Um, I had probably one of the most memorable interactions with a customer today. I get guys all the time coming into my store, bringing in comics that they want to sell, and I'm generally a pretty easygoing guy when it comes to buying comics. If you bring me a stack of comics, even if it's a bunch of quarter comics, I'm going to make you an offer. I'm going to try to buy them because I love comics, you know. But I had a guy last weekend come in. This is a young kid, right? And he had a stack of comics, probably 10, 15 comics. He literally was pulling it out one at a time and handing them to me one at a time. And each one he was trying to pitch me on them, right? He goes, oh, this one's like really rare and hard to find Wolverine. And it's like a really common Wolverine issue. But I mean, I appreciate the fact that he was trying. But Avery, at one point, he handed me a book and said, this one's a really popular one. He handed it to me and it was in a plastic bag. And it literally had my barcodes, the barcodes that I print out, that I use on it. And I'm like, you do realize this came from my quarter bin, right? Because if it's in just a bag, it's from the quarter bin. And he had like 3 or 4 of them. And I like, yeah, those are quarter comics. And he's like, he still wanted to pitch me on each and every one of them. And I let him do it. But I didn't laugh at him. But in my heart of hearts, I was laughing my ass off because it was so fun.
I'd have laughed at him.
Well, I didn't. I took it seriously, but when you left, I was like, oh, I got to tell everybody. Okay, but today's adventure.
Yeah.
A guy pulls up on a bicycle. Okay, so you already know this is not a guy that would have money, right? He came in on a bicycle. He walks in and he has one of those Walmart bags, right? And there's something in the Walmart bag. And he walks up and he says, do you buy comics? I said, absolutely. What do you got? He says, oh, I've got one to show you. And I said, okay, cool. He reaches into the bag and he pulls out a box, but the box is wrapped in what appeared to be a white pillowcase. Now, was it a silk pillowcase? I don't know, but it was white and it looked like a pillowcase. And he's like trying to pull this thing, and you could see he's working at it really hard. Okay, but he's trying really hard to get it out. And he pulls out this black, hard handle case, you know? And it looks like one that you might see somebody walking around with like handcuffs on. And it literally had a key lock attached to it. So he goes over into this little area and he pulls out his keys and he's going through the keys. And, you know, he's trying to stay away from everybody because he doesn't want anybody to see what he's doing. And he goes and he unlocks the case. Now, first thought goes through my mind, Avery, is he's bringing me a Hulk 181. That's got to be it. It's got to be it. Now, where this guy would get a Hulk 181, who knows? For everybody out there who doesn't know, Hulk 181's first appearance of Wolverine, it's a several $1,000 book. Even in beat up, bad condition, it's worth money. So I'm thinking to myself, he's got something worth gold in this hard plastic locked case, right? And I said to him, do you know how much this item is worth? And he says, well, yes, I know exactly how much it's worth, but I'm looking for about $200. Okay. All right. Now I'm curious. He said, it's a really rare book from 1961. And I go, okay, sure. Let me take a look at it. And I meant to do this earlier and I forgot, but let me do this real quick. I'm going to actually bring up the listing for the book that he showed me. So he opens up the case, right? And he opens it up, and in the bottom half, there's nothing. There's nothing in there. In the top half, there's like styrofoam, white padding, like holding something in, right? And all I'm thinking to myself is, this has got to be good. This has got to be good, right? All right, hold on a second. All right, I meant to do this earlier, and I forgot. He pulls out something out of it's in a Mylar bag, which for anybody that knows, Mylar is probably one of the best bags to put comics in, because it's acid free. And if you've got a comic worth a lot of money, you want to put it in a Mylar bag to keep it from getting from fading or anything like that. So he's got it in one of these really nice bags, no boards, just a bag, right? He pulls it out, and it is, I'm going to share the screen with you and show you what it looks like. It is, share, this 7-Eleven Marvel Comic Collector Edition featuring Spider-Man, Captain America, the Hulk, and Spider-Woman. Okay? Now, if you remember correctly, he told me it's from 1961. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. Spider-Man wasn't introduced till like 62. So how can this thing be 61? Right? But he's adamant. It's from 1961. Well, I look at him and I say, I don't know the title of this book. Can you open it up so we can see the copyright on the first page and see what the actual name of the book is? And believe it or not, the name of the book is Spider-Man, Captain America, Incredible Hulk, Spider-Woman. That's the name of the title. It was a special 7-Eleven limited edition, giveaway comic. And now, granted, this comic was in pretty good condition, but based on Comic Price Guide, a 9.4 copy in near mint condition is a $30 book. And for some reason, he thought it was worth $200 or more. And here's the kicker. When I looked it up, you'll notice that the date is January 1981. Well, when we looked at the copyright, you could see the name of the book, and it said it looked like 61, but it could definitely be, it was definitely 81, but it looked a little bit like 61. And I turned to him and I said, this is a book. This is a limited edition 7-Eleven giveaway from 1981, not 1961. And it's worth about $30. And he says to me, no, it's not. And I said, okay, well, I'm not interested. He looks at me and says, well, then I need to find somebody who knows something about comic books. All I can think to myself was, yeah, because you don't know crap about them. And what was so funny, there were 4 other people in the store at the time. They were on the other side of the wall listening to this entire conversation. And when the guy was adamant that this was from 1961, and I said, I'm pretty sure Spider-Man didn't debut, and it was. Amazing Fantasy was 1962. I'm pretty sure Spider-Man didn't first appear till 1962. I heard a guy on the other side like chuckling, like he knew that too. He knew that as well. And when the guy said to me, well, I need to find somebody who knows something about comics, and he put everything and he walked back out again. Avery, I waited for him to leave the store, but I didn't wait for him to leave the area, which means when I started yelling and screaming, what the hell? What the value? This idiot! And he was literally standing right outside the door and heard everything I said, which was fine with me. But they were laughing their asses off going, what the heck? Because they overheard the whole entire conversation. And I showed them, on my phone, this image of this comic. Said, this is what he thinks is from 1961. And they're like, oh my God, this guy's an idiot. I said, well, yeah.
That's early 80s trade dress. Late 70s.
No, this is 1981.
Yeah, but that trade dress is from late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, he was convinced that I was lying to him, number one.
Look to see
and then
if
I know nothing about comics.
Look to see if 7-Eleven even existed in the 60s.
Yeah, I don't know if it did or not.
Look to see. You can Google that too. You can look that up.
Hold on a second. Let me look real quick. But needless to say, I've never had anybody come into my store. And if somebody asks me a question about a comic that I don't know about, I'm honest. I have no idea. I don't know anything about that comic. I have no idea what you're talking about, But something like this that I could actually physically look up in a price guide and tell him what's going on, and he's like, no, does not believe a word I said. And I'm not saying we would have came to blows, but when was the first 7-Eleven open? 7-Eleven opened the first in China. Well, that's China. That's not what I'm asking for. 7-Eleven open in USA. The chain was founded in 1927 as an ice house store in Dallas. It was named Totem Stores between 1928 and 1946. So you're talking early 50s then, was when it became 7-Eleven. So it was definitely around in 61, but this book is definitely not from 1961.
Was it a national chain? No.
Probably not. I mean, it was probably small enough. It wasn't well. It wasn't. It wasn't. That book did not come out before Spider-Man was even introduced. It just didn't happen. But he was adamant that it was 61.
Look at the art style too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's gorgeous. And the issue was very nice.
Well, the art style's not 1960s either.
That's true. That's true.
The art style's late 70s.
But oh my gosh, I tell you what, guys, I have so much fun in my store. That just tipped the scales, and I was smiling for the rest of the day after having it. What an idiot, but I loved it. Hey everybody, and thanks a lot for checking out the video. If you like the content, click the subscribe button and hit the bell for notification. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Thumbs up, thumbs down, either way, and we'll catch you all next time.